Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and the thumbnail this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time in timely fashion, courtesy of the universe through this language of synchronicity. This is a collective or general reading, so make sure you realize that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Just keep what works for you and leave the rest. If it's been some time since I have posted this, what was going on back then in your life, that might give you further clarity to your situation now. Right, we're going to start with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have a reward, the Ace of Pentacles. Yay! We're off to a good start. So this is talking about, this is showing that you've been on your path and stayed on your path, the one that God gave you we all have our unique qualities, and you've been adding your special quality to the world, and this is a reward for following your North Star. So the North Star is the energy of your purpose. This is my cat, Stella. She was asleep in the other room, but now she's here. She loves the readings, and her job is to sit on my lap and purr. A cat's purr has a very high vibration. It's very healing. She's got happy feet already, so she's enjoying this energy. Yep, there's a reward of Pentacles. So the Pentacles is talking about health, wealth, happiness, abundance in the 3D world. This is talking about lifestyle. A big part of lifestyle, of course, in 3D world is money. Having said that, this isn't just about money. It's about how do you invest your time, your energy. What is your lifestyle like? You could have all the money in the world and not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So let's see now what the rest of the reading is about. We have the King of Cups coming in. Maybe you're wanting a cup of love in your life. Here we go. So you could be the King of Cups energy, or perhaps there's a King of Cups coming in with a cup of love here. The King of Cups is the most emotionally available of all the kings, and he's sitting out in the middle of all this rough water. And rough water in tarot represents like volatile emotions and chaos around him. But he's chill. He's just sitting there. He's on his throne. He's got this slab of concrete here, and he's just whatever. I don't know how he's making that slab of concrete float, but he does it. The King of Cups is someone who's very steady, and someone who has, people will go to him for advice. He's very loving, loves his family, that kind of energy. And so this energy is talking, there might be someone that is eyeing you up and has wants to offer you a cup of love or ask you out for a date, whatever. Or you could be this King of Cup and have noticed somebody, and this is your reward. Maybe you've been working really hard, and the one thing that's missing from your life is a partner to share all your abundance with. So here we go. We have the star energy. There we have the North Star right there. So this is saying that this person has her foot in this water, which is representing the universal water. It's her right foot. So it's saying like she's adding her special abilities into the universal pool of water, and then scooping that out and pouring it onto the earth here. And you notice there's 5 streams being poured here, and these 5 streams represent the 5 pentacles, or the 5 points on a pentacle star. Pentacles are, in geometry, they are the master symbol for nature. There's many, the pentacle represents many energies in the, about manifestation on planet Earth in nature. And that's why it's considered the master of all the geometric symbols for manifestation. And this is also talking about the energy coming down from the stars and following your North Star. So your North Star is that the plan that, you're part of God's plan, and you have your own unique abilities to bring to that plan. The other stars here represent the Pleiades. And so this energy is saying you're a star and you're meant to shine. And so do that. Add your special flavor, unique, And perhaps there's someone watching you do this and they're eyeing you up and saying, I really want to ask this person out. I find them very interesting. And I like their uniqueness. That's the energy that I'm picking up. And so let's see further. What else is this about? We have, oh, the Wheel of Fortune is turning. So the Wheel of Fortune is actually 3 wheels in one, representing the past, the present, and the future. Now, the only place where we really have this linear time is on planet Earth. Like in the rest of the universe, it's scattered time. We could say like synchronicity, time that comes together. And this energy is saying that the wheel is turning now in your favor. And so this could be in the past, this could be the present, and this could be the future. This is saying that good luck is, you have a lot of good luck coming in, but the good luck is actually for staying on your destined path and adding your own, like you're being noticed for adding your own unique flavor to the universe. We all, a lot of times people feel like, oh, I'm just one person, what can I do? You are unique and you're the only you that there is on the planet right now. There is no one exactly like you. And when you think about that, that's quite a miracle when you think about how many people there are on the planet. And this is saying, you know, congratulations for following your destined plan and staying on the right side of who you are. And you're being rewarded now. And let's see here. We have the Emperor energy. So the Emperor usually represents like an authority figure that's very high up. So this would represent, you know, if there's someone that run a politician, they would run the country, prime minister, president, an actual emperor or king. This person has all the qualities of all 4 kings in the minor arcana rolled into one person. So they're very wise and very intelligent. And they're able to use their thoughts. And generally, this would be someone that uses their intelligence and their ability to use words to earn their living. So this could represent someone in the judicial system, or you know, like they would be high up. They would be like the head prosecutor, Supreme Court judge, that kind of energy, a minister of justice, that kind of, like someone who is probably in the public eye as well. This is also someone who has a lot of capacity for love and able to control their emotions as the King of Cups. Sometimes when kings show up with the Emperor like this, it is saying that you are beginning to embody all of these qualities that the Emperor has, or this can represent someone that's coming in for another reason. We'll see. Let's keep going. All right, so there's been some competition here. This is talking about immature competition. This is my Mean Girls card. Think of narcissistic cheerleaders. They are watching the other team, and they know, hey, they're better than us, but they don't care. They have to win. And, you know, if they don't succeed, their mothers will make sure they do. And so this is an energy, a forcing energy kind of. And it's also, when I say immature competition, what I mean is, as you become an emperor, as you start learning to control your emotions, because these are adolescents here, so you expect it, right? It's just that kind of energy. But eventually you have to mature and you realize, hey, you know, the competition is actually, if I'm watching someone else and they're doing what I really want to excel at, and they're doing it better than I am, rather than getting upset about it, would be more beneficial to really study what they're doing and see if I can use that, or even speak with them and ask, hey, that was amazing what you did. You know, can you give me some pointers? Because I would love to be able to do what you're doing, that kind of energy. And also, you know, being in a position where you recognize that really when you are in competition with others, you know, one of the team always has to win. But having said that, if everybody on the team does their very best within themselves and then works together as teammates, the energy is going to be a winning team, regardless, you know, that, and may the best team win. There's nothing better than going to a sporting event, like a really good football game, and both teams are playing at their very best. Like, that is entertaining. That is, and each player is like playing at their best. That's like something that it's a beautiful sight to see, and the fans really really appreciate that. It's that kind of energy. And then we have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords can represent someone who's got a closed mind, or it's someone that just can't see something, and all they can see is there's two options. It's either this or it's that. This could be it's my way or the highway, that kind of energy. And this person is blindfolded, so they're sitting here with their back to the water, and it's like there's a shore on the other line, a shoreline on the other side here of the water. And they need to recognize that they could just cross and find, maybe on the other side over there, they would find another solution, a more creative solution to their problem. Having an open mind is like a parachute. It can actually save your life. And so this energy, and from a body language perspective, this is talking about, like, look at how the feet are pointed out. This is when your feet are pointed out and open like this, it's representing like leaking energy. So this is, you're being drained of your vital energy by whatever this problem is and not being able to see the solution. And you look at the upper body here, and the arms are crossed over the heart. So it's like saying you're not open, like your heart's not open to maybe forgiveness or whatever, like to be able to find, it could be some sort of, because the water behind here is a little bit rough, so it could represent that you have some negative emotions in the situation, which is keeping you in a state where you really can't see. And there's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. And what this means basically is that, the human eye can only pick up like a small fraction of the spectrum of light. So, a lot of times people will say, when I'll believe it when I see it. But really, whenever you see anything, you're not really seeing the entire spectrum. You're only seeing a little portion of it. And people, physicists talk about dark energy, like dark matter in the universe, which makes up the vast majority. But a lot of them believe that this was empty space. But now we're starting to realize that it could be full of energy, and we just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And when you consider that, as I said, you can only see a small portion of the spectrum. When the saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see, means that you're looking at things and you're thinking you're seeing the full picture. You're using your mind and thinking rather than going inward and using your third eye to use your intuition and combine that with your logic to get a new perspective. This new moon in the background here, the new moon represents, it's a time to move forward in a new way and look at things from a new perspective. And then I have this little cat on my lap, so it could be a PURR, perspective, and that's of your healing energy. And so really being able to go inward and quiet your mind, discipline your mind so that you're able to see within your mind's eye a creative solution. And then we have a disappointing situation in love. So perhaps you could be the King of Cups energy, and you are in a situation where you're disappointed by love, or you're disappointed in a King of Cups. So this energy represents someone who is sitting under a tree, and trees have really strong energy. If you're really upset, hug a tree and then meditate, and you might come to a creative solution. And so this energy is, this person's gone to higher ground, sitting under a tree to commune with nature. The energy of the pentacle that I was talking about, that's probably why it was coming in. That this energy is in nature. If we sit in nature and meditate and just be quiet, we might come to some sort of solution. Even just watching the animals around us, how they handle their shift. But this is talking about someone who has either been in a relationship and they've given someone 3 opportunities to change or do things differently. And this person might be saying, I want another chance. And you're saying, there's no way. 3 strikes, you're out. I'm not up for it. It could be, you could be the person that's asking for the forgiveness for the fourth time. This energy is, and what I say about that is if someone's shown you 4 times who they, or 3 times who they are, believe them. That's something you can believe. People tend to show us who they really are the very first time we meet them. And sometimes we don't see it for whatever reason. That's what this is talking about. I'm getting that kind of energy. There might have been a lot of competition in your love situation, because this 3 of Cups can also represent someone who has, like, there's 2 cups, and but there's a third one here, and there shouldn't be. And sometimes this can even go to the point where there was conception of a child, and so now there's that issue there, and it could be a child that was born from another cup of love coming in, but not in your couple. It's from the third party energy. This also can represent having 3 relationships that just in love, and it's not working out, and the universe is saying, hey, here's another cup of love. You're going to love this King of Cups. and or it's the King of Cups, and saying, give it one more go, King of Cups, whichever your energy you're resonating with. And you're like, I don't think so. If it's the more of the same old shift, I think I might just stay single, that kind of energy, which would be a shame, because we all deserve to have the love in our life. Having said that, I don't know what the Emperor is doing here yet. This sometimes, when we go through these situations, we become, more and more emotionally smart, like emotionally intelligent, as well as having the other skills. And so the Emperor is all 4 kings rolled into one. So life experience, if we have enough life experience, eventually we can get to the Emperor status. Or this could be someone that you're going to for advice, because the Emperor is, of course, the Emperor is all about performance. He has his armor on underneath his robe, and he's ready to take on opportunities at a moment's notice. He's always ready. And that's the kind of energy. Because of that, I'm feeling like maybe in the past you weren't really ready for love for some reason, and maybe you were really busy on a project and focusing on the Pentacles, and now, or you were so focused on love that you didn't have the resources to really go after what you really want, that kind of energy. Sometimes the cup of love can just be about something you really love to do, or something you would really love to be, kind of energy. Or it can even represent people that you're not romantically in love with, but that you have love for. We have a transition coming here, so don't panic. This card is, a lot of people are like, the Death card. Oh no. But it's actually the transition and rebirth card. So this is talking about if you stay on your path and you add your own unique flavor to the universe, you could be misunderstood at times, because if you're unique and you're really unique, you might feel like you're always kind of the odd person out kind of energy, is the energy I'm kind of getting here. And you notice, like, the king is trampled here, but this doesn't actually represent trampling a human being. It represents like systems breaking down, and things that you thought, oh, that I would never do that, or that would never happen to me, or the government would never do that, or we would never have war in our country, just all sorts of things that we're seeing all over the world right now. If that a lot of traditional systems are breaking down, and we can watch the news for 5 minutes and see it happening. And so the one constant we can always rely on is change. Having said that, a lot of people do fear change. This person is an older person, is like looking away from the Grim Reaper. So the Grim Reaper does not represent someone that is supposed to be evil. It's just a lot of cultures adopt this as a symbol for transition. And the young people here, this little one is holding a flower up to, there's no fear here. Hey, I'm young, I'm good for change. I like to learn something. You know how little ones are. They look at a newborn baby that comes in, how they're totally helpless, and in 1 year, look at everything that they learn to do. A lot of them are up and walking, eating solid food, starting to communicate with words, that kind of energy, all in 1 year. And so this is saying how the transition there's always light at the end of the tunnel. If you think about death and birth, the energy is very similar. A lot of times people who have near-death experiences talk about a dark tunnel and then there's light at the end of the tunnel. And a lot of people, when they're being born, of course, they come down the vaginal canal and they are in the dark, and then they come into the light when they're born. And so we have the energy also of strength. So this is talking about having the courage to do, to face your fears. And so that's the energy. I feel like you're not going to have a satisfactory love experience with a closed heart in this energy. So this is just saying there needs to be, maybe you have been doing some work on that, and you're moving into this transitional stage, and maybe someone's interested in you and you're like, oh, like it's, I've been hurt in the past so bad and I just don't know if I'm ready or not yet. So I feel like this is talking about being ready for the, for the actions of others kind of energy, learning from what's happened in the past and being able to move forward. And so this is strength card represents facing those fears. A lot of them are from our childhood, and the energy, she's reaching into the mouth of this mature lion, which would be a very dangerous thing to do. But she's doing this because the lion represents facing fear. This is fear, and she's reaching in and facing it full on because she wants to heal. And look at the lion has his tail tucked under. He's being submissive because he knows she means business. This is going to open up the potential, for her heart to open and have true love. Maybe in the past, the energy, you weren't seeing things about people or you about yourself actually, from when you were a young child. And so quite often this card talks about having the courage to really go inward and, really focus on healing childhood wounds and any other wounds around love. The thing is when we're really, from the time we're a baby to the time we're about 6 or 7 years of age, we don't remember that part of our life. Most of us don't remember at all about our baby, when we were a baby, but we remember maybe some parts, when we were 3 or 4 or 5 years old. But this is when the subconscious mind is built, and the subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on us. So we don't really remember what happened, but it has a huge effect on us, and on our view on love and relationships, etc. And all we can really rely on is the impressions from the people that were in charge of our care. But yet, when we're upset or when we meet someone or whatever and we're nervous, we tend to go to the subconscious mind, which is really the thoughts of other people, not our own. And when we make that decision to go inward and do, look at things from a new perspective and go to source energy and really meditate and pray and get into that state so that we can get some insight from our intuition as well as using our logic, we'll know that, hey, it's not just this or that. There's several solutions to this problem, and it could be like, if I start to do it this way now, then I will be able to maybe be successful. You can start to see, oh, maybe I jumped in too quick, that kind of energy, and I wasn't ready. So taking a more laid back approach to dating, instead of looking for someone to marry, just look for someone to go out and have a good evening with, that kind of energy. Not taking it so serious is what I'm getting. Yeah, and putting down the burdens around that. Because this card represents someone that has taken actions in the past, and these actions are kind of like the harvest that you reap. And so there could be some really beneficial things here because you're being rewarded for getting back on your path. And, this can represent a huge harvest coming in. The thing is, sometimes when we start out, we're all excited and we think it's going to go a certain way. And then we do well and we're successful with it. But it becomes a burden because we realize, oh, that's not what I really want. I don't want to have to do this for the rest of my life kind of energy. And so it's okay. This is saying there's 10 wands here. It's kind of the energy, also like similar to this energy, but it's like not being able to see the trees due to the forest or forest due to the trees. I've got to look that up. But you know, it's like when you see everything, but you don't you don't see the detail in it, or all you can see is the detail, so you can't see the big picture. And so this is talking about you're very close to home. Like look at it's right there, but he can't see it because he's so busy carrying all of this. So this energy is saying there may be a better way to do something. And if you think there's a better way, there probably is. And so you could put some of these burdens down. Sometimes this represents carrying other people's burden and taking responsibility maybe for the guilt of a relationship going sideways when really you were doing your best at that time. So this is like saying you're so close to home. Don't give up now. You deserve to have the love in your life. And, you know, it's just around the corner because you're being rewarded here. And so this is for this, this energy is, it's saying basically that you probably have been meditating and gone in, you know, and got back on your path. And now you can put the burdens down. Anything that doesn't belong to you, that really was other people's burdens, put it down and let them deal with it and carry what is yours and appreciate what the benefits of it and release whatever is not working and move forward. That's the energy. So this is talking, I still feel like there's a cup of love coming in because you've done this work. In the past, you've been disappointed in your romantic situations. This is talking about you decided, you know what, I'm making a transition. I'm doing things differently. I'm going to look at what's causing this. There must be something within me. This is the third time or the fourth time this has happened. And, you know, I'm tired of carrying the burdens of other people and I want to be free. And so this is about this energy of going inward to source energy so you can get back on your destined path. And when you do that, and you make that decision, I'm going to allow myself to shine and I'm going to get on my path, then the wheel starts turning in your favor. You're not afraid of the competition anymore. That's when you start to realize, hey, maybe I don't fit in because I'm not supposed to, because I'm a star, that kind of energy. And I feel like this is actually someone who's managed to, you know, like all this life experience and going inward is elevating you to the emperor status. And people are really going to start noticing that you really have your shift together, that kind of energy. This is really awesome. We're going to clarify this with my oracle cards. If you're enjoying this reading, please do give it a like and a comment, as it really does empower me to build my channel. Really do appreciate it. I'm clarifying with my oracle, Tales from the Vector. And it's an oracle that I started back in 2007. I worked on it and completed 64 paintings by 2020. I'm an artist. It's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And the paintings, a lot of them are 3 foot by 4 foot big dragon paintings. They're flying through the sky. They come from different parts of the world. I had a lot of fun doing it. I've learned a lot from it. The energy is really from the future, basically. It's advice coming in from the future, universal advice. And in 2020, I completed the last painting, but now I have the paintings all sorted out and ready to print, but I'm looking, and I have a lot of the information, but the best way is to work with it. And so I appreciate your time and energy because I'm working on the book that goes along with the oracle, and I'll have it out when I feel like I have the information I want. And in the description box below, I will put the numbers of the cards as they appear in this reading, and you can check it out at my website, talesfromthevector.com. That's TAILS. And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order they are in my gallery. All right, and so we're just tuning in. I've been tuning into this energy, shuffling away here while we're talking, while I'm talking. And let's see here. We have worldly and otherworldly desires. So this is a karmic space. So this is about giving yourself total permission to be able to go after your authentic desires that are in your heart. Sometimes this is being rewarded for being able to do that, because we can fall into a karmic space where we only go after material things and the way we think people want us to be, how society wants us to be, and just trying to fit in instead of stand out. And it can also be the opposite, where we become very spiritual and we don't want any material needs, and to the point where we don't allow ourselves to enjoy, the planet Earth and be able to, because the pentacles represent the ability to be able to travel and have the freedom and all of that. So if you don't have that abundance, it's going to be challenging for you to be in a star position. And so we have the energy of, here we have dissemination of information. So there's been an elephant in the room, and you're like, what elephant? I don't see the elephant. That's being in this position here. So this can be quite often, this energy, we're talking about believing in your own press. So what I mean by that is, a lot of times when people are wanting to motivate other people, they'll say, believe in yourself. The problem is, many of us have a lot of limiting beliefs about ourselves, and we don't see our star potential. And so believing in ourselves becomes like a negative. And so this is open your mind up to all the possibilities. Maybe you don't fit in, and you're always engaging in, if you date, that you have a type, and that's your type, and that's my type. And maybe the reason why it's failed is that type is not representing your full potential, and you need to expand your horizons and maybe date someone that's totally opposite from someone that you normally would date, so that you are maybe exploring the other parts of you. You might be surprised and find, wow, that really brought out a different part of myself that I didn't know, and I'm going to use that now. That kind of energy. And that's how we become an emperor, is when we allow ourselves to have an open mind. And then we have the magician energy coming in. So this magician energy, when the fool goes on their journey, they start off at the 0 point, and the very first card they come across is the magician. And in my deck, it's a beautiful golden dragonfly that's dipping her tail into the pond of a little puddle, and dipping her tail in and just having a lot of joy and exuberance for life. And this is representing an energetic upgrade. And so the energy is, the saying you have the tools that you need and to go on your journey. And in the traditional tarot, the magician has an infinity symbol over their head, similar to this, saying, okay, you have the tools. He's got a bench, and you have the tools. You have the infinite potential to be, a star, and add your special, unique qualities to the world. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. You're on a journey, and the very first card you come across is the magician. So that's a really good sign. And this is also saying, the magician also has an Ouroboros around his waist, and that Ouroboros is a snake biting its tail. So it's talking about getting into a loop of energy, like I said, like having a type. And maybe you think, oh, that's what you're attracted to. Maybe you're attracted to that type because you have unhealed, shift from when you were a child, and from your subconscious mind. And once you heal that, you'll be like, oh, that's not my type after all. This is my type, the one that puts me, that elevates me into this position, that kind of energy. And we have, falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So if you have limiting beliefs about yourself, and you don't feel like you're lovable or that you're capable of attracting the emperor status, then that's really going to hold you back. So you have to love yourself first. And so the saying for this card, it's a beautiful pink and green dragon falling upside down through the sky, and it says, falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So when you start to really love yourself and upgrade your energy, then, all possibilities, you become unfettered. You're not in this bound state anymore. You're kind of like, oh, I can see, like, I deserve to have this. I'm going to date this type, and I'm going to see what's the result. And just go on a date, like, not take it like it's a life choice decision that day kind of energy. Having the patience to stay on your path. And so then you get rewarded because everything opens up to you and you start to see the possibilities in front of you. So this temperance is actually what a lot of people refer to as an earth angel that God sends down to earth to add their special flavor. And very similar to this card, she's dipping her right foot into the water of the universal, and then she's grounding her left foot on land. But it's saying that there's a special mission that she has, and that's the same as this star quality. We all have a purpose in life, and our purpose actually, when we get to this planet, is to be the best version that we can be of ourselves, like this competition energy I was talking about. And this requires patience because it's a learning curve, and it also requires having an open mind, right? So to the possibilities out there. And then we have a karmic space of jealousy coming in. So sometimes, we'll look at other people and think, what is it with me? Like, why can't I have love? All my friends are getting married, they're having babies, whatever. Or it could be the opposite, where a lot of other people are looking at you and they're jealous of you, and you're like, why are they jealous of me? And because you can't see your own star quality. So that's sitting on this, needing to see the unseen, basically. And then we have the energy of disruption. So disruption is just saying what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. Not everybody takes their love life that seriously these days. You may have noticed that. And so this energy is what's fun for some is not necessarily fun for everyone. And so dating people that are not in alignment with your destined path can really cause you to really slow you down and put you in an energy of not being able to really reach this potential. And I feel like this emperor is sitting here, and I just want to point out these are archetypes. So the emperor can be a female energy as well as a male energy in their masculine energy. And then the final card we have is the world at the top. And so the world is when the fool begins their journey at the 0 point, they come across the magician first and foremost, and the very last card is the world, card number 21. And this is saying it's a whole new world when you become neutral, to this shift that has happened, and you start to use that energy to upgrade yourself. Everything, you're going to, if you are moving through life and you're doing your best to have the best life you can, you're going to have times where you make mistakes and things don't work out the way that you thought they were going to, because a lot of people, sometimes you might know someone like this, they never fail. They never fail. And if they don't ever fail, it means that they might be really talented too. So it's really not that noticeable. It's just like, wow, that person never fails, ever. And they're doing so much, why can't I be more like them? That person, if they've never failed, they're not pushing themselves to their ultimate potential. So you are, and that's something to be really proud of. Like, that's a really good quality to have, because that's your job when you come onto the planet, is to be the best version of yourself and then find a way to add that to the universal soup so you make the world a better place to be. Awesome. I love this. This was a really, really good reading. I hope you also have enjoyed it. Please do give it a like and comment if you have. It really helps me to build my channel. Consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy. And I will be back with some more random shift in the near future. Bye for now. Yeah, we got to wake you up, Stella. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm sorry.